birds.
We just trim it, yeah.
Yeah, we're all good.
All right, this is podcast number 1 of the Sky Blue FC. You know what? Just post-gaming a Sky Blue FC game.
Incredible game.
Unbelievably exceeded any and all of my expectations. So every week, not every week. Every game
Home
that
game.
Frank and I are at, we will be sure to bring you a podcast from the road, because this is going to be during our drive back from South Jersey, because we drove a significant amount of time to go see the Sky Blue FC.
Gives us enough time to digest the facts, really soak in the atmosphere, and report to you in a proper way.
Right, we're journalists first, and then we're bloggers second. So we'll make sure to bring you the real news, the hard-hitting facts. But Sky Blue FC, kind of killer.
Sky Blue or FCU?
That's
All
right.
right. So first initial thoughts. I think our expectations were pretty low.
They were low. Yeah, they were low. On the drive to Rutgers, to Yurkak Field. The name of the field was Yurkak.
Yurkak. Yes, correct.
I actually think that was almost a joke. It wasn't. Yurkak is the name of the field. And we were thinking there may be...
I was expecting
100
20
people.
20 to 100.
100 was our max. We were talking about it pretty seriously. We knew the capacity of the crowd was like 7,000.
Shitty weather, like not a great day. Cold. Just the
Cold.
wind
It was
made
cold
it
as shit.
Cold.
Anyways, we show up. The tailgates. There were tailgates.
First of all, there were tailgates.
There was a tailgate. That was kind of amazing.
There were more than 5 cars there.
Yep.
So that was big.
Yep. We pulled up and a lot was closed. Didn't see that coming. So
blowing my mind. And cars had stickers for Sky Blue. So people have invested time and money into this organization.
For sure. This is not a bullshit thing. Sky Blue FC is kind of
bigger than we thought. Way bigger than we thought.
I'm into it.
So attendance, we get there, and there was actually people in the stands already. And we showed up 45 minutes early.
Yep. The kickoff was 6:05. I believe we got there sometime around like 5:15. We got our media passes, which we may be getting to. You know what? It's a good segue. We'll just skip to it. The media passes, we basically showed up, said, hey, we're here for Water Cooler Sports. And they were like, oh, okay.
Oh, we've heard of you. You guys are great.
They gave me a pass almost immediately, gave Frank here a pass without either of us showing any ID.
Incredible.
Ignoring the fact that his name is not Frank. It's shocking the amount of stuff that we were able to get away with at this thing. So the media passes,
they respected us.
They respected the hell out of us. The tailgate, not bad. Kick a ball around, have a bunch of beers.
Pass the ball around to some walking by fans.
To strangers.
Get them involved. Got to get the touches in early and often.
Right. So
Miller, shout out.
You could, for that person who probably will tune into this podcast at some point, because I can't imagine there's many Sky Blue FC podcasts out there.
I'm going to say 0.
I'm going to say 0, and this is the first. So, making history, and also that guy, you're now famous. So
shout out. Shout out to that guy.
Yeah, tailgates. I'd give it a check plus.
All right, so we get the media passes, we get in, and where do we go first?
Well, so we weren't really sure because nobody, like I said,
zip direction.
There was no direction, and it was basically just like, oh, you have a media pass, you can do whatever you want. Well, I look up, I see where the media box is, and then I saw this big tower with what looked like an elevator attached to it. So I was like, all right, let's just take the elevator up to the media room.
Incredible.
If you were watching the Facebook Live, you'll see that we just hopped right in that elevator. We pressed...
We didn't scan in. We didn't talk to the security guard. We just hit up.
And then we walked into what looked like a very serious press box with a lot of serious people sitting down.
Dead silent.
Silent. It was like a freaking library. And so what did we do? We just kind of blended in. I went...
Just being reporters, you know?
I went and stood behind the oldest crowd of people you could find. And they were the most intense Sky Blue FC fans on the planet.
Binoculars, 4 different screens up. They all had pen and paper, old school, love it.
A 74-year-old using an iPad, which I thoroughly enjoyed. One guy with binoculars, he would go like this: 4, 10, 73, 44.
Incredible.
What he was doing was calling out who the ball was being passed to the whole time.
As if we couldn't see ourselves.
Like, yo, dude, no one needed that commentary. It was great. I thoroughly enjoyed myself.
They were into it, and they wanted to be there, and loved it. Loved the enthusiasm.
Oh yeah, I really have to give a shout out to those guys. They bleed sky blue.
They bleed
soccer.
They really do. They really do. They were on Cloud 9. Oh,
Cloud 9. Segue.
Cloud 9.
Segue.
The official supporters for Sky Blue FC would be Cloud 9, and impressed. Once again, impressed.
So yeah, let me explain this to some of the novices out there. The Cloud 9 is the Sky Blue FC fan club. Yes, that's right. They have a fan club, and it's this section of the stadium that is absolutely packed with fans, and they go nuts. They have like
vocal.
they have a drummer. Vocal. They're like doing the Olay chant the whole game long.
They had songs, and everybody knew them.
At least 100 people in this little packed fan club. So you would look at the stadium, and there were a lot of empty bleachers, but then in this one section, it was like only the cool kids.
It was very spread out, but then you knew where the fans.
It was like, oh, there's Cloud 9. So Cloud 9, I am very much behind you. I would love to get some of our own guys in there and infiltrate and try and really get in. I'm thinking, oh diggity, maybe Big Fudge. You guys might be our perfect candidates
for
this.
That could be electric.
But yeah, the Cloud 9 is a place to go. I would love for people to go to the Cloud while infiltrating Cloud 9. That could be fun too.
Lot of potential there.
I agree.
Yeah, they did very well. And then so that kind of wrapped up our first half, and then we heard over the PA, and speaking of, they do ad reads on every first minute, 45th, 60th, 70th. But they were like, go to our beer garden. And after already trying to get beer at the concession stand, which they don't allow because it's on a college stadium, we were delightfully surprised that they had a beer garden.
They did have a nice little beer garden. They had like, I don't know, maybe a Brooklyn Lager and Yingling, like 3 or 4 other selections. Little pricey.
$7 a beer.
Yeah.
And they did open it for you, so it's a little difficult to shotgun. So
that's
not
a problem.
There. We got to work on that, guys.
No Natty Light available, so strike 3 in my book. But a beer's a beer.
You know what? We haven't put our influence through yet. We can't really change protocol at the moment, but I give it 2 weeks.
We're working on changing the culture, but one day there will be Natty Light at that beer garden.
Yeah. So, but it was good. Everybody kind of went there at halftime because you want to get your beers in. You gotta, keep the BAC nice.
Yeah.
Chatting with a couple people, just getting the general vibe to the stadium, and it's pretty decent.
You know what? We didn't even talk about this, but the beer garden basically was a lot of the Rutgers women's soccer team.
It was. They got a little shout out to kick off their season or something. Not too sure.
It's not a bad spot if you want to meet some people, if you know what I mean.
Sky Blue FC beer garden.
Rutgers female soccer players. I'm feeling it.
At the end of the day, it is still a college campus.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And on the Bush side of the stadium, of the campus, by the way.
Yeah, I saw that.
Which is incredible. Shout out Bush.
Side of the stadium. What does that mean, though?
The campus side of the campus.
It's like it's broken down. And it's called the Bush section of campus.
So, and
classic.
I did may or may not have can't confirm or deny have some Bush tonight.
Of course. Well, it's out of respect for that part of part of the campus.
Moving on, second half. I had to go to the bathroom twice.
Yeah.
It was heated.
So Frank's bladder is the size of a pea, evidently. But it was cold, so in his defense, it does make you want to piss, like, all the time.
Fun fact, that's where some people hide if they had to get dragged. They got dragged to the game, and they wanted to warm up because there was people on their phones in there.
Yep. I went in there at one point, and I actually needed to dry my hands, and people were just hovering over the air dryers, warming themselves up. And it was like, that's
going
not
from
what
an
that's
80-degree day to this. The wind was brutal.
I got sunburn at a Yankees game yesterday, and then I came to this and froze my balls off. So
yeah, totally different atmosphere.
Yeah. But yeah, so the second half, again, it was a scoreless game for the most part. Almost 90% of it played at midfield. Very little excitement. Even for a soccer game, very little excitement.
A little cagey, not too many shots on goal.
No.
Possession wasn't too great. Sky Blue didn't have their second striker. She was out in Australia. Debatable why she was there.
Right. Big storyline there.
But, a lot of midfield play, not too many shots on goal. Sydney Leroux was in town, but still, she didn't light it up as much as we thought.
Right.
Also, everybody was in short sleeves, but we'll touch on that later.
Yeah.
Psychos. But yeah, it just, it wasn't electric. It wasn't electric.
No, so the game itself, not so much. They did, during one of Frank's 10 pee breaks, they did score a goal. So Sky Blue FC, they had the lead in the last couple minutes. It looked like Kansas City was going to come back. They actually did score a goal.
Offsides goal, though.
Very late whistle to
side judge
blow
had
the
the flag up. The official late to the game.
Yeah,
apparently
the fans exploded when first they thought, "Damn it, we're gonna tie
again."
Now."
Brutal.
And then they found out, "Oh my God, we won, or we're gonna win as long as we hang on the next few minutes." And
pretty much a lock after she was offsides.
The place, it kind of erupted. Dare I say I have to say this, at some point, the old woman, I'm going to call her